Welcome to the Unleash Your Inner Radiance podcast with your host, Lisa Dorn. Unleash, 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 unleash your inner radiance.
Hello and welcome back to Unleash Your Inner Radiance. I am Lisa, your life, wellness, and transformation coach, as well as real estate agent in the state of Minnesota. So, hey, beautiful souls, I want to welcome you back today. And in today's episode, I'm going to be really honest, and I'm really enjoying being that way because I love the soul level honesty that I am finding in myself, and I am growing with myself. And I want to start with a question that might hit you in a little bit deeper way than normal. Is there a part of you that you've been trying to hide? Now, this is a big question because a lot of us try to hide a lot of things, right? And why do we do that? Probably because we care about what people think of us. And we need to stop doing that, right? Because, maybe you hide because you don't like your voice. Maybe it's your emotions. Maybe it's your dreams. Did you forget your dreams? Because your dreams matter. And do you know what I realized today in talking with a good friend of mine? Is that people don't want to see you win. People don't want to see you successful. And I find that hard because I want to see everybody successful. So, when I hear something like that, I'm like, yeah, that is the truth, but it really hurts. And so the last part is maybe it's the part of you that feels too much or not enough at all, right? Because when people who are your friends, right, don't want to see you win, it's like, I just don't understand that. Because if I'm really being honest, I think most of us spend so many years hiding pieces of ourselves without even knowing it. And we're doing that to protect ourselves. And it's not because we're fake people. It's because somewhere along the way, we learned that it was safer to hide than to be fully seen. And that may have been growing up, right? Your parents were just like, no, don't be like that. No, don't be too loud. No, don't, no, you can't do that. No, why are you doing that? So I want to talk about that today. Because I want to talk about the masks that we wear. Because yes, in 2020, we're actually wearing masks. But think about the different masks you wear because you're trying to make yourself more shallow. No, I'm not even going to say shallow, smaller. There we go. Around certain friends because those friends don't want to see you successful. But then you find someone else who is more successful than you and they want to bring you with them. Do you see the difference? So we wear masks depending on who we're with. And why can't we just all be ourselves and be authentic and stop playing these roles that we play? Because those roles cause us to shrink ourselves to fit into the spaces that maybe we've outgrown. Maybe the people that we've outgrown. Because if your friends aren't your biggest cheerleaders, do you really need them as friends? So let's talk about who we really are. I want you to slow down and be gentle with yourself and do this courageously. And I want you to come back to who we really are. You know deep down inside of you who you are. I had someone tell me once when I was going through a really hard time that I was fake because I was happy because I had made a decision for myself. And when you have someone who you think loves you turn on you, and then when you've made the decision that you're done and you're happier in your heart, and they say to you, why are you just being so obnoxious? Why are you being like that? You're not happy like that. So I want to talk about that because that forces us to put a mask on. So let's talk about the version of you that you learned to hide, or the version of myself that I learned to hide. I don't think we were born hiding ourselves. Actually, I know we weren't born hiding ourselves. We learned it. Did we learn it from our parents? Did we learn it from our friends? You know, we have to, I think I learned it from both. And you know, we have to forgive our parents for not knowing what they didn't know, right? Just like our kids have to forgive us because they didn't come with a manual. And sometimes we hide things because we have to. And so I think, you know, when we were told, when we were young, I'm sure I was told these things. You're too sensitive. You're too emotional. You need to toughen up. Don't make a scene. How about be realistic? You want to do that? Be realistic. Do you really think you can? And slowly over time, whether or not it was our friends or our parents or our brothers, anybody says, you know, sisters and brothers saying it to us, slowly and slowly and slowly, we began editing ourselves. We began to learn which part of us is acceptable, which emotions are too much, which dreams are too unrealistic, right? Which truths might make other people uncomfortable. And we take that through because before we know it, we are the experts of hiding ourselves. We're the experts of putting on those masks depending on who we're around. Not because we're weak, but because we've adapted. I wasn't the most popular person in school, in high school. I mean, I wasn't popular at all. I did have a good amount of friends. And I know that I adapted myself to fit this or to fit that, right? Because we just do that. And I think as adults, we do the same thing. And we really shouldn't. We should just be able to be our authentic selves. Not just adapt and survive. And so maybe some of you listening today became the stronger one, or the caretaker, or the peacemaker, or the perfectionist, or the woman who always has it together. I am more the perfectionist. That is me. And trust me in that, it does not suit me at all. Because even when inside, I felt exhausted trying to hold on to that image. This was the image I was so used to portraying, and it gets hard to keep portraying that image. And you feel exhausted. And when we do that, we almost hide in plain sight. And here's the wild thing about hiding. Most people don't even realize they're doing it. And that's what I've been talking about. We went until a certain age. We were perfect, right? Our parents thought we were perfect. Everything was perfect. And then you get to school and kids are saying this to you, and then your parents are saying this to you. And pretty soon, it's just like, oh, I have to behave like this or else this happens, or I have to do this or else this happens. And most people don't even realize that they're doing it because we've probably been doing it since such a young age. So it's just something that we do because it's from the outside. And everything can look fine on the outside, right? You smile, you show up, you work hard, you take care of people. But internally, that's what counts. You feel so disconnected from yourself. You know, how many moms go through raising kids, having a job, and their kids go to college or their kids get married, and they have no idea who they are? Do you feel like that? I felt like that. I was like, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know who I am. I'm a mom. I'm involved in their sports. I work. I have a job. I'm a wife. But who am I? I felt so disconnected from me. And it's like there was a version inside of me quietly whispering, this isn't really me anymore. And you know what? That whisper got louder and louder and louder, and it's still getting louder. It gets louder with age, especially in midlife, which is exactly where I am, right? In midlife. And eventually, our soul gets tired of pretending, tired of shrinking, tired of performing. And that's why so many women hit a point where they are suddenly asking, who am I now? Who am I? What do I actually want? And why don't I feel like myself anymore? And it's not that they're broken. It's because the version of themselves they created to survive no longer fits who they're becoming. Does that make sense? So a lot of us have a fear of being fully seen. So can we talk about that for a second? Being fully seen is actually terrifying. It's terrifying to me because I'm a perfectionist. And like I've discussed in several episodes, that is not a good thing, right? But you have to understand, once you stop hiding, you risk rejection, judgment, misunderstanding, failure. And sometimes the biggest fear isn't failure. Sometimes the biggest fear is, what if I actually become who I am meant to be? That is the biggest fear because we don't know who we're supposed to be. So what if you actually become that version of yourself? Because stepping into your real self changes everything. Your relationships shift, your standards shift, your boundaries shift, and not everyone grows with you. And that's really hard. But hiding yourself to make other people comfortable, that is so exhausting. And eventually your soul starts asking for more. More honesty, more alignment, more truth. That's what it asks for. So let's talk about the masks that a lot of women wear. Because I think women especially become the master of wearing masks. You got the I'm fine mask. You've got the I can handle it mask. You've got the I don't need help mask. You've got the I'll take care of everyone first mask. And underneath all that, there is a person, a woman craving rest, softness, support, freedom, and authenticity. A woman who wants to exhale. A woman who wants to stop performing strength and actually feel peace. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're tired. Not physically, but your soul is tired. Tired of pretending that you don't need more. Tired of pretending you're okay with staying small. Tired of hiding the parts of yourself that deserve the sunlight. You deserve all those things. You deserve the sunlight. I want to talk a little bit about the moment that I realized I was hiding. And it was kind of back in that instance because I was a mom. I was a wife. I was, all the things, right? And I was like, but who am I? I don't know who I am anymore. And so when you realize that, it can be hard, right? And what I realized was that I had been hiding so many parts of myself, not intentionally, but subtly, right? I realized I was still questioning my voice, minimizing my message, waiting for permission. And by softening my truth, I was doing that so that it felt safer for other people. And a deeper realization from that was that you can't fully help people while hiding yourself. You can inspire people a little bit, but if you guys realize this, the true impact happens when people feel your authenticity, your honesty, your humanity. And I think that's what people are craving right now. Not perfection, but truth. But the truth, the authenticity, you're being honest. So I want you to come home to yourself. You're probably asking right now, what do I do with all this? How do I stop hiding? And honestly, I think what you need to do is start small. Because I come back to this one a lot. Because there are times like last week, I just was overwhelmed and I was just like, I need to figure this out, right? And what do? I hide. That's what I do. And I start to think small. And that's not what you need to do, right? So how do we stop hiding? We need to be honest. And we just need to start making small steps in that one direction. Because you can tell the truth about how you feel. And what happens is you stop apologizing for taking up space. And you allow yourself to want more. And what I found is that you stop abandoning yourself to keep everybody else comfortable. Because we need to do things for ourselves, not for the comfortableness of others around us. And if we do that, little by little, you're going to start coming home to yourself. Not the version that you expected you to be, but the real version, the softer version, the wiser version, because we have all this wisdom. We just need to do something with it, right? And you're going to become a more powerful version of yourself. And that version doesn't need permission to exist anymore. And let me tell you something that's really beautiful. That version of you, she's still there, and she's been waiting patiently underneath all of the noise. What do you think of that? She's still there. That 5-year-old self that saw the vision of what she wanted to become when she got older, that vision that kept in the pit of your stomach, you always thinking about, that version. But an older version with all the wisdom and everything else, right? So if you have that thing inside of you that you wanted to do, I suggest you do it. So before we go today, I want you to sit with this question. What part of yourself have you been hiding? And even more importantly, why? Who taught you? Who taught you that part of you wasn't worth being seen? Because I want you to know something. The parts of you that you've been trying to hide may actually be the most beautiful parts of all. Your sensitivity, your voice, your dreams, your softness, your ambition, your healing, your truth. None of those are weaknesses. They are pieces of your becoming. So, maybe this season of your life isn't about becoming someone new. Maybe it's about finally allowing yourself to be who you've always been underneath all of the masks and the armor. Maybe. And if this episode spoke to your heart, please share it with someone who needs this reminder too. And I know a lot of women do, and Mother's Day is this weekend, so share it with all the moms. Because so many women are walking around hiding themselves while secretly praying someone gives them permission to stop. So let this be your permission. Until next time, stop shrinking, stop hiding, and start honoring the woman that you're becoming. Because she deserves to be fully seen. See you guys next week.
It's time.